Money in the Bank is this weekend, so what better way to celebrate than with a top 10 list? Everybody loves a good wrestling top 10 list. Today I'm going to be going over what I think are the 10 best Money in the Bank cash-ins. Whether it was years ago at WrestleMania or in the past 13 years at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, a bunch of guys and gals try to climb a ladder and retrieve that Money in the Bank briefcase. That briefcase allows the superstar that wins it the opportunity to cash in a contract for a championship match whenever they want within 365 days. Over the years there have been some good cash-ins and some pretty bad ones. Let's focus on the good ones and get this list started. Make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button for future wrestling top 10s and rankings and, all that stuff. Let's do some honorable mentions right now. First off, we got Liv Morgan, whose cash-in was well received by the fans, and it was a feel-good moment, but it was just not the greatest. She was barely able to beat Ronda Rousey. She had the win with the roll-up, and it just made it look a little bit sad. Big E, who had kind of a basic cash-in, but Big E deserved it, and he deserved to be world champion, and everybody loves him. But the cash-in itself just wasn't anything too special. And then Daniel Bryan. He cashed in right after a chairs match between The Big Show and Mark Henry. He handed the ref his briefcase and immediately pinned Big Show. It was a pretty funny cash-in where Big Show was just laying there and only realized what was happening right as the ref's hand hit 3. Silly Big Show. Also, Edge's second cash-in was pretty good. Undertaker just finished a steel cage match with Batista, then got attacked by Mark Henry. This would have made it onto the actual top 10, but it's just super similar to his first cash-in, so we might as well make some room for another cash-in. But this cash-in was good. Undertaker struggling to sit up was a great shot. Edge truly is the ultimate opportunist. Kicking off the actual list with number 10, Sheamus at Survivor Series 2015. This is just a funny cash-in. Now, full disclosure, I am a big Sheamus fan, so I might like this cash-in a bit more than other wrestling fans. However, you can't deny just how funny this is. To have Roman Reigns win the vacant WWE title, confetti is raining down while he celebrates. He spears Triple H and immediately gets hit with the brogue kick from Sheamus. Confetti is still in the air falling down. Sheamus cashes in his briefcase, but Roman Reigns kicks out at the first pinfall attempt. Roman bounces off the ropes and dodges a second brogue kick just to get hit by another one anyways. Sheamus becomes the new WWE champion, and confetti is still slowly falling down as if it's for him. There's just so much confetti in the ring, and it makes Roman's reaction to losing even funnier. Sheamus only held the title for like 3 weeks before losing it to Roman Reigns on an episode of Raw. Is it a good cash-in? Yeah. Is it one of the best? No, not really, but it's still pretty funny. Number 9, Kane, Money in the Bank 2010. The quickest Money in the Bank cash-in ever. Kane won the World Heavyweight Championship briefcase in the opening match and cashed in on Rey Mysterio less than an hour later. It was a nice little psych-out moment. Swagger was beating down Rey Mysterio after their championship match. Kane then comes to save the day and brawl with Swagger to the back. Mysterio begins to celebrate again, and then boom! Kane's pyro hits and he starts walking back to the ring, this time with his Money in the Bank briefcase and a referee by his side. An historic accolade for Kane. The record's never been beaten, and honestly, why should it? We've seen a lot of same-night cash-ins like Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Dean Ambrose, but Kane was the first person to do it, so props to the big man. Speaking of big, Kane is also one of the bigger men to win a Money in the Bank ladder match. He was able to win his second ever world title that night, and hey, his reign lasted longer than a day, so, good for him. Number 8, Rob Van Dam, One Night Stand 2006. Rob Van Dam cashed in Money in the Bank on John Cena, but not via sneak attack or blindside. RVD would have an Extreme Rules match against John Cena at ECW One Night Stand. While sudden cash-ins are probably more exciting, you can't deny the match that Cena and Van Dam had at One Night Stand was entertaining nonetheless. The ECW faithful were all behind the whole effing show, and they absolutely hated John Cena. They were throwing Cena's hat back at him, they threw his shirt back in the ring numerous times, spitting on it, wiping their asses with it. If Cena won, it most certainly would have started a riot. On that night, however, there wasn't a need for a riot because Rob Van Dam defeated John Cena to win the WWE Championship. The match was good, the crowd was hot, the perfect combination to create some wrestling goodness. There have only been a few cash-ins like this, but RVD's is without a doubt the best. John Cena and Braun Strowman both announced their cash-ins ahead of time, and it didn't really work out for those two. This was the perfect opportunity for RVD to become world champion, and although his reign was cut a little short, this match and this moment will not be forgotten. Number 7, Bayley, Money in the Bank 2019. This is the only women's cash-in on this list. Every Miss Money in the Bank besides Carmella just can't seem to wait to cash in that Money in the Bank contract. While they've all gotten good pops from the crowd, maybe don't do the same thing every year. Alexa Bliss had a nice cash-in, interrupting the Nia Jax Ronda Rousey Championship match in 2018. Nikki ASH cashed in the night after Money in the Bank, and as I mentioned earlier, Liv Morgan's cash-in wasn't anything too crazy. Bayley's cash-in is probably the best cash-in on the women's division side of things. Charlotte Flair beats Becky Lynch to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. She continues to beat down Becky Lynch along with Lacey Evans, and Bayley's music hits. The crowd are hyped, When Charlotte goes down, the crowds start getting louder and louder. They know what's about to happen. Bayley cashes in and hits her elbow drop for the win, and the crowd absolutely love it. Bayley celebrates with the fans, a great feel-good moment. The setup was well done, and Bayley deserved it for sure, since her main roster run had been a bit rocky up until that point. Number 6, CM Punk, Extreme Rules 2009. A cash-in that truly elevated CM Punk. Jeff Hardy defeated Edge in a brutal ladder match to win his first World Heavyweight title. The moment doesn't last long as CM Punk comes out to ruin Hardy's feel-good title victory. Jeff actually kicks out of one GTS and then nearly rolled up CM Punk for a shocking retain, but Hardy is just too beaten down and a second go to sleep gets the job done. The fans were not happy, even though Punk did the exact same thing to Edge a year earlier. Punk soon after would turn heel and have a great rivalry with Jeff Hardy throughout the summer. The heel turn and the feud really pushed Punk to that next level. He main evented Night of Champions and SummerSlam along with Hardy, and that cash-in at Extreme Rules was the starting point. Number 5, Randy Orton, SummerSlam 2013. Randy Orton was a sick son of a bitch for this one. Daniel Bryan, a little over a year after losing the World Heavyweight title in 18 seconds at WrestleMania, gets to be in the main event of SummerSlam and challenge for the WWE title. Not only does he get to challenge for it, he wins it, beating John Cena of all people, who was the top star in the company. Confetti rains down, yes chants throughout the building, then Randy Orton's music hits. But he only teases cashing in. He raised the briefcase over his head and turned around, which that shot alone would have been a pretty cool close to SummerSlam 2013. However, Triple H thought of a different way to end the show. He hits Daniel Bryan with the pedigree, allowing Randy Orton to cash in on Daniel Bryan, ending his first ever WWE title reign at just under 6 minutes. This cash in is what started the Daniel Bryan versus The Authority storyline. Daniel Bryan was the main character of the story, and Triple H was sort of the main villain, but Randy Orton was still a big piece of the puzzle. His Money in the Bank cash in was great, and I thought the setup for it was really well done. Number 4, Dean Ambrose, Money in the Bank 2016. The end of Money in the Bank 2016 saw all 3 members of the Shield hold the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns walked into the main event with the title, Seth Rollins would beat him for it, then soon after, Dean Ambrose would cash in the briefcase he had won earlier in the night to become WWE Champion for the first and only time in his career. While Kane was the first person to cash in on the same night, Ambrose's cash-in had more story to it. He finally gets the ultimate revenge on Seth Rollins for destroying the Shield 2 years earlier. Ambrose wouldn't go on to be the biggest star in WWE by any means, but this was still a very good cash-in. I'd say it's the biggest and the best moment of his WWE run. Number 3, Dolph Ziggler, Raw, April 8th, 2013. What else is there to say about Dolph Ziggler's cash-in on the Raw after WrestleMania 29? The crowd were absolutely on fire and 100% behind Ziggler. After carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase for 250 plus days, he finally found his moment. Although Alberto Del Rio had an injured leg and he nearly crushed Ziggler's dream of becoming a 2-time world champion. He locked in the cross-arm breaker on Ziggler and the crowd were on the edge of their seats. Ziggler was able to twist Del Rio's leg to get out of the submission hold and then hit him with the zigzag for the 3 count. It is without a doubt one of the best cash-ins of all time. It was done perfectly. Ziggler's entrance theme hitting, the slight chance of him possibly tapping out to Del Rio, and then successfully becoming World Heavyweight Champion. It is a shame that his run with the belt was ruined by the whole concussion thing, but man, that's a moment every Mr. and Miss Money in the Bank should dream of having. Number 2, Edge, New Year's Revolution 2006. The first ever Money in the Bank cash-in. Cena just got done retaining his WWE Championship in a bloody Elimination Chamber match. Vince comes out on stage and announces that Edge is cashing in his Money in the Bank privilege. Cena can barely get to his feet, and when he does, he gets hit with a spear. Cena, however, known for his ability to never give up, actually kicks out at the very last second. Like the referee's hand hit the mat for the 3, but Cena kicked out just a millisecond before it was final. One of the best near falls I've ever seen. Edge finally hits another spear on John Cena and becomes WWE Champion for the first time in his career, and the ultimate opportunist was born. This cash-in would have ranked somewhat high regardless because, you know, it was the first ever cash-in, but the fact that it's done so well makes it one of the best cash-ins in WWE history. And number 1, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 31. What an amazing cash-in. A true WrestleMania moment. The first time the Money in the Bank winner cashed in mid-match, and the first time a cash-in happened at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins won the contract in a fun ladder match the year before and was set up to become the future of the company. This cash-in solidified Seth Rollins as a major player and helped make him the star he is today. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar had a very hard-hitting match, but the setup to their main event wasn't that great. Reigns won the Rumble and not Daniel Bryan, lol. And Brock Lesnar's contract was about to expire, but the Beast decided to sign a new deal with the company. I think they made the right choice by throwing Seth Rollins in the mix and having him win the title. Seth's run with the WWE title was ended due to injury, but he still had a pretty good reign. Dolph Ziggler and Edge's cash-ins were great, but this was the heist of the century. And there you have it, my top 10 Money in the Bank cash-ins. Do you agree? Do you think this list is pretty good? Leave me your 10 favorites or just your favorite in general Money in the Bank cash-in in the comments below. Make sure you check out the podcast. New episodes drop every Wednesday. I go over a WWE or AEW or NXT or whatever the heck event. The next episode we'll be going over Money in the Bank 2023 as it is happening tomorrow as of this recording, so I'll be talking about it next Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said earlier, like and subscribe for more top 10 lists and rankings and tier lists and all that good content. We love wrestling content over here on YouTube, don't we? But I will see you whenever I see you. Goodbye.